God, man, I can't even think straight. I can't even think straight, y'all. Yes, I'm walking around with a bonnet on because the rain and everything got me in a big old afro puff all over the place. And I just experienced, it was fun though, but dudes was clowning my hair because I'm talking about all the way out to here and sticking up and everything. So I'm like, let me contain it because every time I look in the mirror, I'm seeing the type of morning, and I don't say morning, but I'm seeing the type of morning that I have been having. Okay, I had to pull over just now, and I'm gonna do my best to get it together to make it back. Oh my God! But just in case, let me put a provision in. There, Jarvis Butts, if he is truly gone, which, like I told y'all, I'm just not buying. Nothing adds up. None of it. When I speak on cases, it's because I be all up in it. Okay, been doing this for years and years and years. And there's plenty of others out here who get into even more information. Whatever you don't have time and the freedom and the capabilities of digging up, they gonna dig it up. Okay, and we go from one to the other and get what's been missing, pick up the crimes, and everybody can handle all that. I'm telling you, think I gotta sit down. This should be on your mind. It be on your heart all the time, and you still got to try to function because there's so many people amongst us out here like this, just like those Epstein files. People are so taken aback about those files. That was every day on the plantation. Hit the like every day, every day. And somebody said those children that were at those parties and they were children of the attendees. I don't think enough people are talking about that because most of these sickos were using their own children as well. There's plenty of proof on that, including video testimony from the children. Now, this case with Jarvis, but I've been talking about it. So have a lot of people. It has been nationalized, right? You may know the basics. You may know he was a sick dude. He was a pedo. He did time for it. He came out. He got with a hippo, had 5 children with her. He violated those children, some or all of them, and the niece that was staying with them. That would be Naziah. She was 13 when he got rid of her body. What happened to her is still in question. But he had her pregnant. And I don't think it was the first time because you know what? If you got to get a plan B, I'm sorry. But I'm going to count that as pretty much a pregnancy. There's so much y'all don't know. And they say he's gone. They say he deleted himself, right? Maybe. Maybe he did. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I believe they like Jarvis. They like the work that he does. I believe he was recruited elsewhere because he is king to them. His work is top tier to them. Who can stomach themselves violating thousands, hundreds, thousands of children? Who can stomach themselves violating their own flesh and blood that looks just like them? People fall for stuff that is put out here on social media and the news all the time. You guys think Jarvis was affected by the testimony of his daughter. I don't know if you heard it, but you can go listen to it. You think he was affected by the testimony of his sister. So many people say, oh, that daughter broke him. That daughter got to him. How? If she didn't get to him in all the years that he was violating her, mind you, she is still basically a preteen. I'm talking about right now. She was a baby when he got started. They're trying to give me a little tonight. I'm in Alabama. I don't have no signal. But see, that's the thing I said about us letting any and everybody do any and everything versus how it used to be. Because it used to be if you had to do company things, you would get a company device. Now, you go somewhere and they tell you to download this shit on your phone. And we all know that that gives full access to all your business, including being able to see and hear you all the time and know where you are all the time. I used to protest that shit. Everybody's joined in now, so it's considered standard. A few years back, it never worked like that. On your personal device, why would y'all even fall for that? I just don't understand it. I don't understand it, but that's where we at now. Jarvis Butts was a monster with permission. And I have mixed perspectives on a lot of things, including his sister. He had a brother that came and did an interview. We're going to go over that. But the sister, she just came and did an interview yesterday. I'm halfway through and I done watched it twice. Tried to watch it 3 times. It's powerful, but it's deep. But her and Jarvis's brother, they're making conflicting statements. They are. The biggest one I have in question is them claiming they didn't know that Jarvis was a pedo. It's hard today. It's the brother says he didn't know, but he says, the family didn't mess with him like that. The only one that did here and there was the sister, because she's the oldest and she did say she practically raised them because the mama was on drugs. And the younger brother said, he's 30-something now, but he said none of the family mess with Jarvis, and when they see him, it's usually on site. And I wish the interviewer would have went into that more, because how are you saying you didn't know that he was that kind of creep, but you're stressing that y'all didn't mess with him? And if you are messing with him, it's because y'all beating him down. So what was he doing? People who claim to be from where they live say that everybody knew about him.
That sounds right. Hmm. That sounds right. The number of victims that guy has, just the number that came forward to the law, to the law, that they didn't charge him for. They could have added to this and they didn't. The information on specifics with these 6 cases. We'd have never known that one of those victims was 4 years old when he first started messing with her unless she put that in her impact statement or his sentencing. They weren't going to tell us that. Yeah, man. Oh, let me turn my Bluetooth off as well. I went on Facebook earlier today looking for something in relation to this case, and the amount of people on Facebook that have reposted many, many pictures of him and his children, to say, hey, look at this. Look at this guy with these children, all of these children. And I mean, it's a couple that look like the mama, but for the most part, they look just like him, especially the oldest one, that he was messing with. And she's not the only one, but let me start this track out. People are posting it because the case is national. It's so crazy. And they're posting these pictures of these children. These children are alive right now. And they need, they need, they need protection. They need a lot of things that, we can only try. But could we help them? Only the Creator can help with that. Hopefully. There's some damaged, individuals out here who it just may not happen in this lifetime. There may never be peace. There may never be solace. There may never be where you can function somewhat normally. Why is my thing not showing up? Oh, Jesus. As soon as I went and put sleeper, that's when they start calling. This thing trying to shut down as soon as you start. There we go. Come on, quit trying to sign me into the damn truck stop, because I never signed into that, so it shouldn't even be trying to top it. Y'all gotta stop posting those children. I wonder why I now have no freaking visuals. That's another reason why I truly believe that there's interference by people that got all the spyware all over. As soon as I get in here we go, start to close out, right? Okay. Alrighty then. I'm trying to put this on 2x speed and whatnot. Let's see. I need to put some butter on my hands. I'm gonna be mad when I get ashy in about 30 minutes. I don't wash my hands up. Okay, we're gonna start it over a little bit. Try to skip that intro. This one is an angry video. It is, you know what? I'm gonna start y'all off with something a little milder. Because this is not only a lot of tension, it's way too graphic. Let's listen to the judge first. That'll be a good one to start with. The owner of the shop also did an interview. I'm gonna say my comments on that one. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the sister's testimony at the preliminary, and then go into the judge. Let's see. move to judges. Testimony. Um, her interview. Now, shout out to, I think it's Tootie. Although I have some things I'm going to critique. And it's really mainly about the shop owner. How to, that situation. Um, she kicked ass doing these interviews. First of all, it just merely landing the interviews with so many, key players. Hats off. Okay, chef's kiss. But her interviewing skills, I never saw that coming. Because a lot of times I can't watch her because it just, it'd be way too much going on for me. Um, let's see. Where's the judge? Beautiful sister, Judge Sabri. If y'all watched the preliminary hearing, then you saw her. You could see it in her face. She was disturbed. She was disgusted. She was upset at these folks. She had to take breaks just to get herself together. She looked like she was gonna cry a couple of times to me. Um, and she, she didn't hold back on uh, when she spoke, when she gave her, final thoughts or whatever. She didn't hold back too much. I'm gonna say that because it's preliminary evidence. It's not sentencing, so it's, although we hear it plain as day. There was so much revealed at the preliminaries. It's crazy. For anybody to be remotely okay with that sentencing, you definitely did not.
This is what would happen if you applied
Watch the
co-balls to
preliminaries.
Ted
And the
balls every
preliminary was
morning
pretty
for
long.
30 days. After week one, she stopped.
Alright. Let me go because this thing keeps trying to shut down. It's getting on my nerves. All that extra, we ain't out. We not doing it. I don't play like that. Okay, I don't need your extra commentary, your loud mouth, your jokes and all that. You you that to me that's just snitch behavior. Like it's just don't be saying nothing. I come in, you fix my shit, I leave. That's how that shit goes. Every shop like knows that. He not even a mechanic, he like the supervisor or something. Like, boy, what you keep coming back here for and shit? Oh, you trying to play with me because I'm a woman. I got you. I got you. I got you. By his little white friend with him. Oh, hell no, bro. Today. Let him know. These mountains are so beautiful and the sun is trying to come through. And I want it to. But I'm finna get over this track because they not finna knock me down on my side. The hill is already at a slant, so.
And of course, the defendant, who I will get to in a minute. I don't know who else felt desired, but we did. As far as the people establishing probable cause, I will focus on count one, and as has been stated, that there is no change with counts 2 and 3. In count 3, I will amend based off of the motion and testimony I heard, because I was 12 and not 13 at the time, the Jarvis was had sexual intercourse. The prosecution is correct. You do not have to have a body to establish first degree premeditated murder. It would have been a much shorter exam, and everybody been found, but
this week, we're hosting a free trading and investing workshop right here in Atlanta. Inside this workshop, you'll learn you don't need to be a wall.
So mind you, she's I know y'all know a preliminary is for, to see if it's gonna go to trial, see if there's enough there, all that. So she's the judge over that, and she's heard all these testimonies and everything, and she's giving her feedback on that stuff. And of course, she decided that there is more than enough evidence for premeditated, right? And they didn't even charge him with that before the plea deal. They didn't give him premeditated. Why? Listen, everybody know that all them people collectively decided that this 13-year-old girl had to go.
Street pro to trade like one. Instead of getting a finance degree,
everybody been found, but
now, I'm pretty sure when we seen some of that closing argument that we all had the same sentiments and shared the same sentiments as Judge Sabri. The thing that was very, very devastating to me was when we finally did get to the sentencing. I was not happy with Judge Hathaway's summations. Now, every judge is going to be different. I understand that. I just feel like when it comes down to the legal system, you know what I'm saying, and citizens like ourselves, you know what I'm saying, there's this huge, huge gap. And the only way to close that gap is that the legal system have to be trustworthy. You got to show empathy. I feel like he did not show any empathy. I would have loved when he gave him his sentence that he made him remove the mask. Because it's just certain things that I feel like, you know what I mean, just was swept up under the rug all along for Nizaya, and this just was another thing to me. We're going to see if Judge is ready right now. I appreciate you guys for tapping in. You feel what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and that's all you got to do to support your channel. How you doing today, Judge Sabri?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
It's a pleasure to see you.
Yes, finally get to meet you.
I know exactly, and I want to just say thank you so much for taking the time out of your day just to have a one-on-one. I really, really appreciate it. As you see, I did send over a list of questions and things like that, and you can feel free to stray however you want to. But that's pretty much it. So I'm just saying, outside of the bench, just so people can know, can you tell us a bit of who you are beyond the bench?
Sure. Well, my answer has changed since 2022. I am a mother now.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. And I try not to identify myself as a mom, but it's hard to do that. So I spend a lot of my time with my daughter. She's 4. She's the best gift I've ever received. So I incorporate things I love, sports and traveling in her life. So she's going to love it by default. So I spend most of my time being a mother, traveling. We do a lot of sports. I'm a big basketball fan. So that and family.
Have there been any cases that I say that you presided over that has stuck with you a lot longer, like had a long lasting effect even after?
Yes, all the time. And to be frank and honest, I go to therapy because of what I've been exposed to.
Mm-hmm.
While a lot of this is secondhand trauma,
That makes sense.
I mean, I don't even think it's right to even share the details of some of the cases that stay with me. But it's been with young children, in particular. I can think of
You gotta share. You gotta share some of that.
Killed by his biological mother and stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
Injuries were so bad from sexual assault that he eventually died. So that's one that always sticks with me. But there are so many.
Shania Davis. That's
And it's
what happened
usually
to her.
young kids and women, those cases.
Come on, bro.
My next question that I have is, prior to being assigned this case, had you heard anything about the disappearance of Nazaria?
I heard about it, but I'm exposed. I don't even watch the news, and I hear about so much. Because of the docket that I was on when that case came before me, I didn't even watch the news. I didn't read anything about it because I knew that if he got charged, it was going to come to me. So she wasn't the only young girl that I knew was missing. But there was a lot of conversation about it, and I was just preparing myself because I knew I was going to end up being the case if he was charged.
In recent years, have you noticed an increase?
What that says to me, whoever that little girl is, the courts aren't going to tell us about that situation. So we don't know if there's assistance and advocacy for the family. Could she be another Nazaria dumped somewhere? These are the type of things that the courts swept under the rug and then bought us just a small plate in comparison to what this guy has done.
In cases like this one?
I can't say that I have, and I think that the best entity to give actual stats would be DPD or the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, because my experiences, I feel like it's never changed, even since when I was a prosecutor back in 2010. I see and hear the worst of the worst, and I try to be optimistic, but I don't feel like there's a change. You would have to get some stats from DPD because it's always I've never heard any of my colleagues say, "Oh, it's been a slow month," or crime is down.
Now that you're a mother, since you have a daughter,
Yes. Yes.
Your facial expressions was very readable during the trial.
Very much
But
so.
I also think that your facial expression showed that you had so much empathy for a child that I feel like a lot of people didn't express genuine concern for. We have some family members that we've been fighting from the beginning, but the people that we seen on that stand, it was really ridiculous. And how do you maintain balance between professionalism and emotion in cases of this nature? I want to know, because like it was times where I wanted to leap for you.
And you can tell I wanted to because because I've always been told that I do not do well with my facial expression.
I don't think that was a good idea for her to say that she wanted to leap forward towards Jarvis. I mean, I was there, not there, but live listening as it was going on, or watching the videos as they put them out, because you know that's a lot of us were, and if not, people have gone back and watched it, so we know what we heard. But if you're gonna say that, which that could be career ending, and you know he's allegedly gone, but you don't want to say things like that because they'll use anything for an appeal. But why say that and not say you wanted to leap at them chicks they got on that stand? Letting you know that they knew at least a couple of years ago. Well, back in 2020, 2022. The word is so beautiful. They have that vision. That he was, you know, and you didn't do anything.
No, you don't.
But it also works for me on the bench because I didn't say it.
Yeah.
The record doesn't show it. But you see what is going through my head right on my face. And I wanted to jump over that bench and strangle him. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I can't do that. Mm-hmm. I can't. That would lose my job, and it would not solve anything. But how do I keep my professionalism? Yes. I call them timeouts. Mm-hmm. If you notice during the trial, I'm like, all right, we need a 20-minute break.
But I did. So that was when you was going. That's what you was doing. You was decompressing.
Yeah, it was nothing going on.
Yeah.
To do with anybody. That was me taking a timeout before I lost it. That's what I was doing.
Oh, that is crazy. So, like, what was it that really said we're sending this case to trial? What really was the final factors determining saying, listen, we gotta go?
Ladies who want to maintain a slimmer waistline, eat cabbage. Ladies who want to burn fat and control blood sugar, take apples.
What?
My friend sent me pictures of me, and I didn't realize I was doing certain things. It was when I remember, it was the video of him talking about his girlfriends and about, it was those text messages. I remember putting my hand back, closing my eyes, and I wanted to just say, hey, we're done here. I don't need 22 witnesses. I know you guys are trying to seal this because as you can see, there was no trial. So a lot of times the exam becomes a trial to get every neck hand out. But at that moment when I was listening to him talk about finding a third party to have threesome with, I was beyond done.
When a state appears to have strong evidence, like it was presented in the beginning of this trial, when are plea negotiations, while are plea negotiations still considered? Like if the evidence or the state has this, you know what I'm saying, concrete evidence, why would we give a plea to somebody like Jarvis Butts in most cases?
And that's a great question. And if I wasn't a prosecutor or a lawyer, I would ask the same thing. What people don't normally or don't understand is that there's always a risk going to trial. Mm-hmm. And in this case, you didn't have a body. So as much as the law says that you can charge, you still have to deal with the jury. Mm-hmm. And juries, they are the last word unless you have an appeal. And what they say is the result. Mm-hmm. And you have to deal with the risk associated with having to put your case in the hands of a jury. Now with this case, I don't know all the details. Since I've been a judge, I'm kind of just out of the dark. Is whatever's presented to me is what I know. Mm-hmm. I can't have ex parte conversation. But it seemed like a pretty strong case, right?
Yes.
Even on emotion alone, if you had a jury hear this. But it's really hard to convict when you don't have a body. It's hard to do that. So I can't say why they did it, but I'm going to say this, that there's always a possibility of negotiating a plea.
Okay.
All the time.
Kind of like sort of piggybacking off that. I'm not sure if you look, but he did have it was a part or a stipulation in the plea. To where they said, can you clear? I just want to know, can you clarify what it meant by a truthful statement of her whereabouts? Because this was something when I read it, I said, well, a truthful statement about her whereabouts could be as minute as I dumped her. You know what I'm saying? So when you see that, can you clarify what that stipulation mean?
Before she gets into that, I'm gonna say this about that freaking deal that he got. The only thing he had to do was allegedly tell them, not allegedly because that's what he had to do, but yeah, tell them where she's at or where he left her. No. When they offer reward money, they say what? We need information that will lead to a conviction, right? Before you can get paid. We need you to tell us, and for us to actually recover her in order for this deal to be good. We can sign it, hold the trial, but if we don't go out there and get these remains, what you told us, we're going to trial. How can you make such a deal in such a situation and just say he needs to truthfully tell us where she at? And that's it. So he may not. He may, say she's on top of the Chicago skyscraper. Yeah, that's what I live at. I mean, what's the incentive for him to tell the truth? All you needed me to do was tell you, and you did say truthfully. I'm saying I'm being truthful. And if you go there, you look, you don't see her, I don't know. Maybe the wind blew her off. Maybe somebody found her. Did something. They bone collectors. I don't know. Come on, son. You got, this is the thing. Why I get in front of me, you could stay behind me. Because you ain't even doing it. And I'm limited to 65. So he got in front of me so he could slow down. Truck drivers know better. They know we have to have distance, but they don't have mandatory things on their trucks. So they just be all up on everybody. They just be jerks, man. Four-wheelers are the worst. Look at that, man. This close to that truck bumper because he want him to get out the left lane. That's insane. That's insane. I hope you definitely paying attention, because if that truck decide to stop, how you even gonna know he trying to stop? And you right here. You see them brake lights. By the time you see them brake lights, your ass probably done went under the damn red news.
Because I think that's what's really rocking a lot of us.
Right, so when I saw that he took the plea, because I was getting text messages, I was working on something, I'm trying to find, did he say where? Or
Facts.
Facts. And I'm like, I'm invested. I want to know.
Facts.
Like, what happened to Naziah?
Yes.
So I had to go on the website, Wayne County Prosecutor's website, and they said that the location of Naziah's body will not be released. So I don't know the actual location. We don't know what he said. There's a group of people I'm sure that do know. Then the question becomes, did he tell the truth? How do we know whether he told the truth about what Naziah?
That was my question. How do you corroborate what he might have said?
Talk about lie detector tests, about what he's telling it, or do we, like, what qualifies as truth?
And see, that's where I was left at with a lot of my supporters. I'm like, the word truthful could be very broad in this particular situation. So sometimes people get hung up on that, and I just wanted to see it or hear from it from, you know what I'm saying, a legal point of view, because that was something that was really, really bothersome when it came down to this case. Now,
what you did with, like,
yeah.
Why would we believe you?
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't. You mentioned that several people failed Nazaya. Now that Jarvis Butts has been sentenced, do you believe others should also be held accountable?
Yes, I do. I can't say.
I know you can only say so much. Yes.
But
yeah,
I was so bothered by this case, and there are so many young children, especially little girls, who have been dismissed, passed around, ignored, whatever the word is, like Nazaya. But it was person after person, and people kept coming to the stand, and nobody seemed to care her and her life.
Not one.
Genuine.
Except for his sister.
And it wasn't even this woman's fault. You know, do you remember testimony when the woman said she stepped over Nazaya's ID several days before deciding to pick it up?
Yes.
It was like symbolic to me of this is how y'all treat her. Like, you just stepping over this piece of this ID, not even picking it up. It's trash, but you're not picking it up, and then you finally decide to pick it up one day, and look what you found.
If you're over 30 without life insurance, have you heard about this new type that pays you while you're still alive?
Finally decided to pick it up one day, and look what you found. Now,
I believe that was the girlfriend whose truck Jarvis had that day. I believe the ID was left in the truck, and she thinks maybe, you know, one of her children got it. It's not a fun toy anymore, so now it's on the floor. And I believe she said that son, I guess it was a little boy, also had Nazaya's glasses. And I think she said she didn't know what glasses they were. And she asked him about it, and I don't remember what she said he said. Well, it don't matter. Whatever he said, she was going to go with it. He called King from jail, and that was recorded and released to the public. Hey man, I need you to go to the truck and get my what did he say it was? Phone. He said go get my phone out the back seat of the truck. Get the truck from old girl, get it to the shop, and get the phone out the back seat. So he say, how am I supposed to do that? Tell her you gotta da-da-da-da-da. You know, I'm sending you to take care of her truck, blah, 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 blah. Then he specifically tells him how to get to it. When they asked King about that in court, he said he did not find the phone. I don't believe it was whatever it was, King would know when he see it. A pow, a souvenir, or something. And King knew to do that because he was with Jarvis and Nazaya on that day. So he know what went down. B, he know Wild Boy was locked up. If I was the police, I would have been actively listening to his calls, not on the playback or nothing. As soon as I heard him tell King that, I would have put an APB on that truck, evidence, and went straight to the spot that he described, was down south, and got whatever that was and tested it and everything. Listen, there was no need to sit up here and explain to your partner who y'all work on cars together how to get the item out. It's really simple logic. They know how they move. He knew it wasn't gonna be in plain sight because it wasn't no doggone phone. At least I don't think it was. Huh. And he went.
It's coupled with had the counselor said something or been there, had the school reported properly, had CPS done more earlier years before, the grandma and the auntie, that's a whole nother conversation. Mm-hmm. Even King just saying something, hey man, you shouldn't be around this little girl, like
yes.
Just so many people.
And in a bothersome part is you had two members of the family. I'm not sure if you heard, but Kiwan and Janelle, who went all the way back from 2022 trying to get help for this baby. And it's like their rights, or they can only go so far. Like, what can we do as a community if we are family members who can spot something that's really wrong and CPS keeps sending them back? Is there anything that we can do to speed this along? Because we do have two members that dated back all the way to 2022 that say, hey, there's a problem in this household, and it's bothersome that they were only able to do so much. So what can we do when a family is responsible?
So I don't know. Well, I do know God has taken me a certain path that I didn't necessarily choose. So I'm now on the abuse and neglect docket at Third Circuit. Oh. So I am directly dealing with what you're talking about. Oh. And having to determine whether or not I should be terminating parental rights, whether or not this should be escalated, whether or not I should even be giving parents a chance. It's a very difficult area of law. But we have to do better. We have to do better. There are times where I'm like, why was this kid returned home? And there's no clear answer. Reunification is the goal. That's what the goal is. The law says that. But I just had to report something 2 days ago that I learned of a kid in the neighborhood. But then what happens? They come and investigate, and if you don't continue, and it's nothing that gets to the certain threshold, then these children are forgotten. Like the little boy whose mom.
You almost took me out just now, Hobby Lobby.
In the backyard and put in there. He said to CPS that my mother said she's going to kill me.
Yes. I reported on that case. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I had to send a warrant on that. I remember I was on vacation, trying to take a break. And I got that, and I thought about CPS. Why was he not removed after he said that?
That's the gruesome part, where you have documentation of kids saying certain things and still nothing is happening. I mean, we know that there's a huge gap in our legal system to us as citizens, and I feel very great that you're on that side of the fence. I'm gonna be honest with you, because you actually seem like someone that truly cares about these kids, and this is something that I'm very passionate about. So when I see people like you that's in, saying that's in the systematic portion of it, fighting for these kids, it make me feel like we have a little bit of hope. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now my question is, what does perjury apply within a case like this? Because I can for sure point out at least 7 lies from some parties that was on that stand. What is the point of us swearing in if it's not upheld? How do that work? How do somebody say, hey, she's a perjurer, I want her locked up? How do that work?
Can you also tell me too what the lies were? Because I was so out the loop on certain. I'll get to your answer, but I'm just curious because I was doing everything off of just lying what was told to me on the stand.
Okay, but this one of the lies was when Annette said that he never frequently comes in the house. Yeah. And what I'm looking at from the outside looking in, I'm looking at why would a grandmother lie about that? Because if this is somebody who shares 5 kids with your daughter, it would not be abnormal for him to be in the house. Right. So for you to try to constantly separate yourself from him being there, why lie about that? Especially when I have you on 5K at a birthday party, sliding over to Jarvis' butt saying, why you don't come over here as much? And it makes me say, why do you do that, lady? And that's just like that's one of many. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that was going on.
And I want to perjure her. Can I perjure her?
So perjury is very simple.
Yes.
Once I swore her in, and she said she would tell the truth, and whatever she said under oath, if it contradicts the truth, then she's perjured.
Okay, man, I'm starting a petition because I got 16. I got 16 from her and 16 by some more. Because it was terrible to me. Because I'm like, all right, For you to just have to lie about something as small as that is bothersome. Another thing.
No, it's not small.
Just being able to go to sleep. I mean, you actually put on a...
She basically was trying to say, you know, they didn't experience that much of him. He wasn't really around like that. You know, he didn't come in over the house with all those children and the 2 girls. He barely came around. That's what she was trying to say. That would be stating a lot. We didn't know what he was doing. How could he when he didn't just have easy access to him? You know? It could really help and absolve and separate her. She got plenty of big reasons.
A bonnet and a moo-moo. You know what I'm saying? As, you know, after learning that your depression is not there. Like, how do you sleep? It was just a lot of things, Judge. And
it was a moment that I was like, something's not right.
Something can't just be right. You likely seen cases where children fall through the cracks, like we were just talking about when it comes down to CPS. Do you believe there's room for a lot of meaningful reform?
Yes, there's room for it, for sure, meaningful. Yeah. But we as judges, we're the last stop, right? Mm-hmm. And referees. In my view, there have to be more questions. This is not just run of the mill court case, calling case number, let's get through it, kids, okay, cool. No, when I see certain stuff, I'm gonna spend the time and ask questions. Mm-hmm. I'm removing a caseworker, I'm changing caseworkers, I'm changing agencies, I'm doing stuff that takes more time and maybe more money, but we on the bench have to be more conscious about, we can't think that everyone who's officer reports are truthful, following the law, and doing what they're supposed to do. Kids are being thrown away twice. Once by their parents, and then
twice by the system.
And then by the system.
Yes.
So we are supposed to be protecting them. And that's what we're doing. That's our job, is to make sure they're protected.
I'm trying to close my eyes.
There's meaningful.
Because it's so bright.
Yes.
Is there anything about the case that you can share with us that we may not know about?
Mm-hmm. Did you know about him having threesomes in the shop? Yeah, that was testimony that was not publicized. It'll be in the transcript, so it's not like I'm violating the law or anything, but yeah. Girls, not adults, girls.
Setting aside your role as a judge, what was your personal impressions of Jarvis Blitz?
Seriously?
I was disgusted by him. I had a case before Nazai Harris. He was a defendant. So when he came before me, I was like, I know you. But let me see, how do I put this? This is how I was feeling when I was giving my statement.
Oh yeah, because your statement at the end, and we're going to get into that statement, but yes.
I think he was disgusting. I think that he was touched as a child. I don't think that justified what he was doing. He was unhealed. And I'm saying was because we know what happened yesterday.
By the way, I'm going to have to pull over.
Didn't quite, he thought it was cute what he was doing. I could tell from his interviews, it was nothing wrong. He enjoyed having women around, little girls, because he had such an empty space in his soul that he didn't see any need to do anything different. He was a monster, that's what I called him. He was just a monster. Terrorizing little girls. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get my glasses today.
We only just have a few more questions. I just want to know, in your opinion, does the sentence handed down align with the severity of the charges and circumstances?
Quick answer is no. It should be life.
Facts.
Should have been life. But it goes back to
Could be the death penalty.
Maybe we don't know certain things that were negotiated, and that was the most reasonable agreement. Was it 35 to 60?
They weren't negotiating.
Who was what, 40? He was 42 at the time, so he'd been in his 70s, eligible for parole. Life would have been, to me, fair. Warranted.
We wasn't gonna do all that.
So the answer is no.
Got you. During the preliminary hearing, we're gonna get back to the expressions. There was so many expressions that I think resonated with a lot of viewers that made you look more human than just sitting on sitting on the bench. So I know you said that you just pretty much got a new role, but do you like engage in any advocacy outside of being on the bench and things like that?
Yeah, so I always, when I speak to young women specifically, I always give my email and phone number, one of the two, and I say, if you ever need me to come speak or do something.
I do.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, I do. I got something coming up, a mommy and me dance that I really want to do. Okay.
And I always say, use my number, contact me. I've had young girls contact me about stuff that has nothing to do with school, about being sexually assaulted. I've been to circles where girls have just divulged information that they couldn't feel comfortable doing in front of teachers or parents or whatever. I mentor young women. I'm big on young women. And of course, I mentor men and young boys too. But the girls, they need to see that, you can be, even if you have to overcome whatever it is, we can get through this. And sometimes hearing from someone like me apparently is helpful. So I will continue to do it until I can't do it anymore. So I get asked to do stuff. If it's young women, I'm going to say yes.
Okay. 2 more questions.
Got in a car accident, don't call a lawyer, use this free AI tool instead. That's how I walked away with $93,000 from my thing called crash. Okay, so a few months ago, I got rear-ended.
We're not gonna have breakfast and bud today.
Nah.
I'm usually, when it comes down to certain things, I'm usually very, very quiet.
I didn't mean
you know what I'm saying? And I just let things play off because sometimes I feel like if you buy into this internet stuff, it just gets bigger and it gets bigger. You know what I mean? So even when stuff rots my socks, I try to just be quiet because I think that sometimes if you don't add fuel to a fire, then it can't grow. And it can't spread. But then there's certain things that really frustrates me that I have to say something about. One of the things being the work that I do, I take so serious. I'm so passionate about it. Ever since I was younger, I wanted to do just this. No bull. And I'm just happy that, you know what I'm saying, certain things just allow things to come full circle for me to be able to do exactly what I love. And that's just to make sure that I want every child to have a voice in this world. You feel what I'm saying? I want mothers who's really, really, really trying to be mothers, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, to be with their children. It's just certain things that I truly crave for. You feel me? What I'm not gonna do is, I can't allow people to make a mockery of what I do. You know what I'm saying? To all of the people who really advocate for children, I salute you. And this message is not to you, but for this message, whoever this message reached, wear it. Okay? I want to clarify a couple of things because this thing has just really rubbed me wrong, and I have to say something. I really prayed on it last night. I prayed on it so hard, and I'm like, do I say something? Do I not? What the fuck? You feel me? I got to. So dig this. This is how we're gonna start. We're gonna start here. I did an interview with Judge Sabri, okay? In that interview, a question was asked. Is there anything in the trial that we was not privy to? You know what I mean? That you could share. She didn't say no names.
No.
Not one name. Okay? She just said, well, it's a matter of public record.
It's crazy how I accidentally clicked on this. Right? Apparently. That's a time to sit down, because no. That's just divine. That's what they was talking about.
It was the threesomes at the shop. That's what she said. You know what I mean?
Bro,
and we quickly started right away from
this mountain,
no names at all.
They need
okay?
another
even in the transcripts. Okay? with a certain young kid, all right? She never spoke on threesomes. You feel me? That's why the question was, is there anything that we was not privy to that you can share now? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna tolerate disrespect on no child, bro. Not a child that I care about. See, the thing about it, and the difference between me and a lot of others, and I'm not calling out nobody, if the shoe fits, wear the motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? But see, off this internet shit, you know what I mean? Off this internet shit, I do it for real. Some of these kids, shawty, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro.
Fall back.
Nah. I can't allow it.
Fall back so
because
I get over here.
Who would I be to advocate for a child and allow that type of shit? Are you serious? At some point in time, bro, you do have to start evaluating certain shit. And you do have to see everything for what it's worth. And that's some worthless ass shit. It is. Period.
There we go.
It's worthless. That's terrible as hell to do that. A lot of people did not know.
They didn't. Because they don't watch Fully Rich. They don't watch.
It's bogus as hell. Let me clarify another thing, okay? Because it's bothersome to me because people don't understand that this internet shit is permanent.
Yeah.
Some of the things that people put on this internet you cannot remove. Because before you try to remove it, it's screenshotted, it's all of this type of stuff. It's gone. You gotta have some type of integrity before you post certain shit. You just got to. That's why sometimes I just bite my tongue before I say anything. But this is crazy. Let me explain something to everybody. And let me say it very, very loud for the people in the back. Okay? Jarvis Butt's sister was not his next of kin. Let that sink in. Everybody wants somebody to blame. I get it. Okay? Because we have a monster in our family does not believe that monster belongs to us. I need y'all to understand that shit. Niggas are spreading lies crazy than the fuck. So I'm going to be the one to say it. Nobody who's did an interview, who spoke in the court, has claimed nothing. Stop it. That man still has a mother.
And she's the next of kin.
The next of kin will go to the mother.
He ain't married.
Understand that shit. There's so many lies. It's sickening. It's sickening. It's sickening. It is so sickening. I gotta be honest. I gotta tell the truth. It's sickening. I would never stop somebody for trying to get that bread. Get your bread. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But when the shit start coming with integrity issues, it's a problem, bro. I gotta say something, especially when that integrity, you know, it's no, it can't happen.
Okay.
It can't happen. You gotta have some type of conscience with this shit, bro.
Coded talk.
Never once did Judge Sabri mention any baby's name on my interview. Never.
She didn't.
Even when I read the text, even when I read the transcripts, it was no talking of this baby